Oh, you can't tell. Everyone, hello. I am Judah Bernard with the Rise Creating Your Voice, and we have a special guest on here, as we stated, and that's Eric KleanKut Dixon. I am the Wisdom Dialogue and the Motivational Warrior, and we are on Season 2, Episode 5, which will be airing February 28th, which will be my born day at 12 noon. And a happy born day to me on that day. So I'm going to go ahead and wish myself a happy born day, because I will be turning 21 years of age. Yes, 21. Once again. Several times again. Many more times again, like several. Yeah, that was a joke. Y'all can start laughing now. So, for those who are joining in, I do have Eric KleanKut Dixon here. And our topic for today is fellows moving forward and setting targets. If you do remember that we did talk about the girls moving forward, or the young ladies moving forward, so we wanted to have a discussion about fellas moving forward too. And we want to know right now, I want to definitely give a small introduction for Eric KleanKut Dixon on some things that he do in the GMV area too. So I'll let him introduce himself, because he has been on the Rise Creating Your Voice before. So those who don't know him, I'll let him introduce himself, because I don't want to give it away, because he is a notable barber. Go ahead.
How's everybody doing? My name is Eric Dixon, CEO of KleanKut Groomer Lounge. I've been a barber for 10 years. I'm the owner of my own groomer lounge. I'm a mental health advocate. I'm an artist, and looking to do more, man, in the city. So look out for me.
And in that, I want everybody to know that what we have here is fellas moving forward and setting targets. What does that mean for you? For the fellas, I think we have a couple of questions. And because Eric and I are fellas, I think last time I checked, when I was using the bathroom, I was up. Okay? Why can't you move forward? And some of the things, and this is basically some of the things that we've come up with is, in my opinion, basically that reason why I couldn't move forward, because behaviorally I've learned that I was a provider. So some of the times that why I couldn't move forward, because I always wanted to provide. And I know no other way beyond providing. So if I was always providing, and that's the only thing I knew, and someone else didn't know how to take someone providing for them all the time, that's all I knew. So I could be overbearing by all just over assessing providing. And that could be being overprotective. That could be checking on a person too much. That can be overanalyzing a situation. That can be texting somebody too much. That can be just a lot of things, because a provider can be over-nurturing. So...
But you know, another thing with being a provider, the thing that comes with it, it allows you to, it keeps you, it can affect you emotionally.
Yes.
Because you know you have this mindset on I gotta provide, I gotta do this and I do that, and then a lot of other things that's around you become numb to.
Yes.
A lot. You know,
yes.
you shut down from a lot, because now it's just like, you know, you have your mindset on, oh, I gotta get this done, I gotta make sure this is done, this is what I gotta do. And so a lot of the areas that we need to be coherent in is we can't. You know, because we end up shutting down, and we had these horse blinders on, and just like keep your eyes on the prize,
yeah.
And we lose ourselves from that, all the time.
And you do lose yourself, because the thing is, you only stop and say, I gotta provide. So that means I gotta work, I gotta keep providing, Nothing else is, it's just provide, and that's it. And you stop at providing, that's it. Sometimes you're not emotionally available.
I've been like that for you know, it's and that's the hard part, man.
Yeah.
You know, you don't even realize it happens until another person gets involved and they point it out.
Yeah.
And you don't even, and you still probably wouldn't really notice it, but then until you really start to really reflect on a lot of things, man. Like right now we are in a pandemic where we can't do much.
Right.
We still providing, but you have more time to really to yourself to really sit and think and reflect on everything,
Right.
everything you have going on, and then you really start to think like, man, wow, I did shut down from a lot of stuff because I'm providing, and I'm of course, granted, it's a good, not necessarily a bad thing, but at the same time, a lot of the areas where you need to be available is like you lose yourself somehow down the line where it's not, it doesn't become important, and then it become a thing where it's just a norm.
Yeah.
And it really hurts us in the long run, man, when it comes to other people in life.
Yeah. And I think sometimes people can't move forward because of past traumas too as well.
Absolutely.
Past traumas meaning that, or past behaviors that they can't get over, or past bitterness, or thinking that someone's going to keep doing the same thing to them. So, do you have any suggestions on why people don't move forward?
People don't move forward because it's like, I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot of work you gotta really put in yourself. Like I said, look yourself in the mirror when it comes to a lot of the things that's like, past trauma. It's a lot of work you have to put in. You have to be willing to put in the work for yourself. It can be a lot of things that people just have a hard time doing. A lot of people suppress things and then just kind of work. That's going back to us basically being providers. We put work ahead to basically help us deal with it.
Yes. And then the trauma just keep building up. You're working hard, but you're not addressing the trauma.
Right.
And you're working more hard. And I think one of my clients that I dealt with way back, that they was working so much that they were actually kind of harming themselves from doing so much work.
Right.
And that trauma was building up, in which they were having more stress at work and not working on their trauma.
Right.
And that turned into a whole different thing.
Yeah. And you got a lot of people who hide behind their work too.
Yeah.
And over time it does a number to them. It's like, let's say you're not working, then what you do?
Yeah.
Then you stuck with those thoughts where you were just really trying to manage this work or whatever. And then, this is why I also talk about therapy, because I dealt with that in a real way. Like, that's why I was always depressed at times. I didn't understand it. I'm like, why do I feel this way? Why do I feel this way? Why do I at times I just want to stay to myself.
And that's what I call that. I call that masking.
Yeah, masking.
Yeah.
We mask a lot of stuff. The whole world. Like I say, with everything that's going on with the pandemic, a lot of people, especially 2020, like 2021 ain't really saw no that great either. But 2020 put the world in a whole nother trance where it's kind of like we're forced to deal with trauma, and then a lot of people going haywire because now they're like, man, I have no other choice but to deal with this. Yeah. But this is why I try to encourage people to consider therapy, consider talking to someone. Yeah. If you need the help, and just being able to get out of that prison of everything you're feeling, inside.
Hey, Eric, let me stop you right quick. Don't just talk to someone. Talk to a licensed mental health professional or a life coach. Because sometimes we talk to our best friend or our girlfriend, and if you think they have the answer, and it's not always there, or your homie, or your OG or whatever.
Yeah. And see the thing about that, of course these are people that we're comfortable with.
Right.
And we engage in a conversation with them to, unleash and unbag. But it's important to talk to a professional because a professional can not only listen, but they can help guide you and give you like sound advice on how to navigate that. Give you ideas, help you dig deep into your thoughts to figure out ways to help you as well. Instead of just being listening. There's nothing wrong with friends being friends. But then also you gotta be careful with that because you have friends you vent to, and then they don't mean you well, then they can take what you're saying to them, and then it become a thing where they telling everybody your business. You know, and then that's a whole nother problem. Yeah. And that's now you're dealing with the trust factor on top of everything you're dealing with now.
And then you got your business out on the street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm a private person. I don't like I have a certain select of people I talk to about certain stuff. But as we all should.
Yeah.
But you know, when it comes to like things where it's like it deals with something that's deeply rooted from years, and you just couldn't get over that hump of how they deal with it. I highly suggest people talk to a licensed therapist. And honestly, therapy is not like a place you just sit in the office and you just sit there. You build a relationship with the therapist over time until the point they become your confidant. You know, it's the person that you would trust. They're licensed to not tell nobody. They can't go around telling nobody. It's only just you and them.
It's a HIPAA violation if they tell someone.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's like shopping for a car too as well. You might not like the therapist at first.
Yeah.
It's your choice. You can go and shop for another therapist. You don't necessarily have to stick with that therapist.
Yeah.
And that's one thing that, I have come to realize that a lot of people like me as a therapist. And so I'm thankful that people like me as a therapist. But I've had situations that people didn't like me. I'm like, okay, you can always choose another one. I was happy to say they could choose another.
Yeah.
Sometimes I was their specialty. Yeah. And they still stayed with me, but
I've been to a Greek therapist, man, before I found the one that I feel that fits me, and then the one that I feel that understands me and knows how to guide me, and keep me on the same track, and it helps me. It helps me stay sane, and just especially doing this, like just these trying times. Like even my therapist need therapy.
Who?
Like real talk about. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to look at it like this. The therapists have to not only go through everything that we all going through right now with everything the pandemic, but then also they have people that they need to help guide them.
Do they mess?
Yeah, help them guide through whatever they doing. On top of that. But I feel like
it's about truth and transparency. We all got mess.
Yeah, but I think in order we can all heal and benefit from all of this, man. If we just really, just consider that, man. And we need each other more than anything right now, man.
It's all uniting.
Yeah. And it just, and then also, man, the problem also comes in when, you got some folks who just, they're so used to negativity.
Yes.
It's almost like it's life.
Yes.
And it's almost like they need it.
Well, and can I be honest? I think what I have come. I'm gonna say I need to stop saying I think. I know it have come accustomed to looking at social media and television that they elicit that on television too as well, and through social media and everything. That drama is done, and that negativity is done on social media and on social sites and things like that too as well, and which needs to be censored because it's going to keep driving that negative behavior. It's going to keep driving that negative behavior. I don't see a lot of positive things on TV and things like that, which drives that negative behavior that keeps eliciting that same behavior type that's going to keep doing it. It's sort of like the operational condition of Maslow's and the different thing, operational conditioning of when they ring the bell and the dog salivates and they feed the dog. So they know that dog is going to, every time you ring the bell, that the dog is going to salivate. Although you might not put the dog food out there, but you ring the bell, that the dog is going to salivate. And that's all that they're doing. That's what they're doing. If you put the negative behavior out there, then guess what? Everybody's going to salivate. They're going to salivate. Yeah. They're going to salivate. And once that behavior is learned, it's going to stay there. And once it's in tune in the spirit and in the mind and thing, guess what? Everybody's out there salivating because guess what? That's all it takes is a couple of minutes of you doing it. And guess what? If it was learned in your household, and it only takes about a couple of hours of your learning it, and you're attached to it already. Mm-hmm. It only takes a couple of hours.
It's almost like it's a drug.
It is.
especially on social media.
Yes.
Which is why
it's an addiction.
Which is why I look at social media the way I do. Now, social media, was one of the things where it's definitely addicting, and I do consider it a drug now because it's definitely something you get addicted to. But
I ain't gonna call it a drug.
Right. But
I can throw my computer away in a minute.
but at the same time, people forget to understand that it's a tool, and you should use it as a tool, a tool only.
Right.
That's why now, one of the things that I come to realize last year, just about social media, man, I was like, with social media, I have to learn that it is a tool and just use it as such.
Exactly.
Like, there's some things that do, that are funny. And I'm not gonna lie, I like memes and all of that.
Oh yeah.
Cool. But we see a lot of negative circulating because it's like, man, people want to see that. People want to see fights. People want to see drama.
Yes.
And so what I do, that's why I use this for business. And then now I'll use it for what it is, and I log off instantly.
Yes.
And I take that energy, that time that I would normally use on social media, and I directed it towards learning something. Like I'll read a book, or I'll go on YouTube and watch educational stuff on where I'm trying to go. Like recently, I've been into real estate habits.
Okay.
And trying to create generational wealth.
Okay.
And understanding.
I'm glad you asked. That's our next episode that we're talking about at 5 o'clock. Real estate.
Oh yeah, I definitely will be tuning into that though for sure.
5 o'clock.
Yeah. So I try to I know where I'm trying to go.
Yeah.
So I take the time, I utilize the time that I would have on social media, then I put it towards education. I study. I'll go online, of course, but I'm taking courses. I'm learning different stuff. I'm learning more on how to run my business better.
Right.
I'm learning how to advance my business. I'm learning how to advance my services. Learning how to understand real estate and understand wealth and why wealth is important to the family.
And the one thing is, and that's what we're talking about is moving forward, is how you set those targets. So how did you allow yourself to move away from those negative things that you once did? So how did you start setting those targets to move forward in building wealth from being bitter or looking at those negative things that you once did, where you want to say, I want to build wealth. I want to move my business toward the next level. So how did you start setting those targets?
Let me see. Well, it started with conversation with my therapist.
Okay.
And just simply just talking, and then it was a challenge. So it was definitely a challenge to do it because you're so used to it. That's how you realize, like, man, I'm really addicted to it.
Right.
Like I said, I'll post still because I have to do this business.
Yes.
But once you do that and go,
But you post positive things.
Positive things. You have to post positive things, But then once I get off, you'll realize you go through this thing where it's just like, man, like I feel weird. Why don't I have the urge to want to get on social media? But then over time, it's gonna take a little bit of time. Mm-hmm. And then I just I have books at the house. I have books that people recommend to me. Mm-hmm. So I started reading books. And then some people are not a reader. I have audio books. Mm-hmm. Like I said, YouTube is a word. That's how I learned to cut hair. Just look at stuff on YouTube. But then I just start really focusing my attention on that. I'm like, what? I want to learn how to do this. How do you do this? How do you do that? And just constantly, just drill my brain with all types of information that I don't know until it becomes natural. Mm-hmm. And then over time, like I said, now I can maneuver now and just post and just get off. And then I'm just like, all right, cool. If I feel myself getting like, I don't know what to do, there's plenty of things to do. And that's another thing too. A lot of us feel like, dang man, but there's nothing I can do. There's plenty of things you can do. There's plenty of learning material out here. We live in a day and age now. Everything is in our face. They didn't have that back then.
Right.
There's so much stuff I learned over time, just off of more stuff I learned since even like when I was in school. I learned so much stuff now as an adult. Hell, how to build your credit.
Right.
Yeah, got my credit A1.
See, A1.
Got my credit at A1.
Not B1, A1.
Yeah, learning how to do it. Learning also understanding credit cards.
Yes.
That's how you build it.
Yes.
Understand how the credit cards, understand how they work.
Don't use up all your credit.
No.
Take it to a minimum.
Yeah.
Not the max.
Absolutely. And see, like I said, in order for me to, I had to understand, in order for me to be successful, a successful businessman, I have to understand credit. I understand how to use money. I understand how the wealthy and the rich use money.
Mm-hmm.
Cash, and one thing I learned on that journey, they say cash is king, but credit is everything.
Yes.
With credit, with an amazing credit, you can move any way you possibly can.
That's why Go ahead.
So that's one of the things. That's one of the things I learned as I got older. You know, they don't teach us these things. These are things that should be in high school or middle school, honestly. But they don't teach us this.
I understand what debt to ratio income is.
Yeah. And that's why
That's important.
And I want to be able to like this you know, basically put this in my head and understand it, and be able to pass it on to friends and family who may need help and I need to understand, especially the newer generation that's coming up. You know, and like I said, I don't want to be a statistic, or I don't want to be the next one going through whatever. And one thing that hurts us the most, we lack information.
Yes.
And we even when we do have information, we don't pass them on to each other.
But you know what? Sometimes we pass it on to other people, but then again, are they ready for it?
That's true too.
Or then again, they hate on us.
Yeah, I gotta never think about that too.
That's another topic.
That's it.
So setting targets, and I understand that you did that. So I think, well, we have to understand that in that we grow, and in that we renew our behaviors. Because very well we could have fell in the same avenue as someone else going down another avenue. But yet and still we took another path. I think for me sometimes people look at my avenue as an avenue of what's the word I want to use? That I'm better than them. And then they become haters.
I have a statement about that too.
And my thing is, I don't look at it. That's why I try to. What's the word? It's hurtful because I don't mean no one ill harm. But then again, you could have had the same opportunity had you just listened to what I said. You know what I mean? So how do you deal with those individuals that still could have had the same opportunity had they just took your hand and followed that same avenue with you, but they choose a different path?
So,
you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. It's one of those things where, this is the saying they always use.
Yes.
You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink.
Right.
And
you teach them how to read, but that don't mean they know how to read.
That's real. One thing, this is what I'm still kind of like. I get it, but it's just something I just don't. I don't understand. Like take me, like I can't expect people to think like that.
Right. Correct.
And
I totally get it.
And you know, the way I look at people who hate or put that type of energy out there.
And we're not using hate in that connotation. Let me say that.
Yeah.
People that you know that maybe can succeed. It's not that they're hating on you, but they are in a sort of a word saying that they want to be where you are, but
envious.
They're envious. Yeah, that's a good word. Let's delete hate.
Yeah, that's what you
Let's go ahead and scratch the word hate, and they're envious of you.
Right.
Let's say that.
So like with me, like I personally love seeing my kids like get it in. Like I'm talking about really win.
I applaud anybody that's
like,
come on.
That's just me.
Let's go.
I love seeing my family win. I love seeing friends win.
I love
seeing friends start businesses.
Yes.
I'm talking about living a dream. They jump out, take the leap, and they're like, you know what? I want to do this. This is what makes me happy. I love seeing it.
Yes.
And honestly, I'm not the type of person, no matter what I went through, but I'm not the type of person to look at that and just be like, okay, man, this is whatever, this is that. I look at that more so like, man, this is motivation for me to really get it. I look at everybody like, and I don't look at them as competition. Like, I'm just like, man, you get it, man. I'm like, I be wanting to talk to them. I say, yo, I want to sit down with you, let's have a conversation. How did you do that?
Yes.
Instead of me being like, man, you doing this, you know. I I want to sit down and talk to you, brother. Yo, for one, I'm proud of you. Sister, I'm proud of you.
Yes.
How did you get there?
Yeah.
Like, what did you do? How, like, what? I want to start with the headspace.
Yes.
How did you, like, how did you, where did you find this information? Where did you get this information? Where are you now? Like, with that everything. And, like, what do I need to expect to even go that route? What should I do on my end?
And that's important.
You know, and then just taking the information that they will give you and apply it. And just really just focus on your goals and where you're trying to get to.
Yeah.
A lot of people that, you know, that's going to school and then they may feel discouraged. And another thing about social media that I don't like, and I tell people this, you know, as much as I can, don't be fooled by the things you see on social media. A lot of depression is going around because people are seeing fake lives on social media.
And those filters. This is not a filter, anybody. This is my skin. This is all me. This is not a filter. No filter here. Nothing.
Yeah.
Look, this is me recording us right here.
Yeah. It's all about self-love, man. Like a lot of people that people
No
are
filters.
following and they feel like, oh man, they scroll all day, every day, and they just going through their page and they going in their timeline. They see all these people who are like, oh, they seem to be, oh, they got it all together. Oh, this is a beautiful person. Oh, they got the flies clothes, the jewelry. Oh, they like they living a luxury life, and they got this going on. A lot of that stuff. Now, granted, there's some people out there doing it. And
This is my luxury life. I'm sorry. This is my luxury life.
Yeah, but you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you know, a lot of people compare their own life.
Yeah.
That's probably something God has for them.
Yeah.
But a lot of it also, with some people, is not real.
Yeah.
And then we get caught up in trying to compete with that. Oh, I feel better because they got this. I got to do stuff to look like this or have that and do this.
Yeah.
Like, and if you focus on what's for you and ignore all of that, and just really just get all the information that's out here, you apply it to yourself, and you focus and put all your energy in this instead of what somebody else is doing on social media, you will win. You will be in a happy place. But we get caught up in that. We get caught up in what's on social media.
And understand what luxury life means for me. Luxury life doesn't mean that I stay in a big old mansion. It's not mansions and all that stuff doesn't mean luxury life. Luxury life for me is my life with Jesus Christ, and that's a luxury life for me. And this is my luxury life. Trust me, I'm in luxury right now because I have Jesus Christ in my life. That's my luxury life. So I want to be honest with you guys that that's my luxury life. And He has provided me with luxury. Trust me, I'm good. I'm good.
That's definitely right.
Trust me, I'm good.
And you know the crazy thing, just talking to successful people.
Yes.
Just sit down. I had the luxury of sit down with a lot of people who have been blessed and been in a good place for
Yes.
business or their careers,
Yes.
period. But you know, we outside looking in, we look at what they got going on. But then once you sit down and have a real conversation with them, they'll tell you, yeah, granted, I do have this,
Yes.
but then I also gain more of this
Yes.
and more of these issues.
Yes.
You know, and it's just like, you know, Biggie said himself, more money, more problems.
No problem.
There's a lot of stuff that comes with that type of life, man, and
Comes
just
with
we gotta
that,
be
yes.
we gotta be ready for that mental.
Yes. Mentally, you have to be ready.
Yeah.
So definitely just setting targets and tell us. Well, we need to understand that at the end of the day, we understand that with a lot of things come a lot of drama. And if you don't set targets as far as moving forward and understanding that you need to get rid of some of the things that set you or hold you back from moving forward and setting targets and not looking back, being confused about the different things, having bitterness, and I'm not sure what bitterness may look, being that I can't speak on it, but I know a lot of people have a lot of baby mamas. I know Eric, you don't have any kids.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people have a lot of baby mamas, and I know of a lot of baby mamas and a lot of baby daddies that bring a lot of drama. So it's it's difficult, and I know that's difficult because I have experience in sessions sometimes when baby mama and baby daddy drama arises, and that's bitterness to me. And that's personal bitterness that not only that it arises in relationships, but the children are involved too. And that's important to me because the children have to deal with that too. So I think we need to really look at how that involves the child, and the child has to endure that. So let's move forward in trying to exclude the child out of that. Let's start moving forward and looking at the blame game. As fellows and as men and as fathers that's supposed to be leading the pack. What they call it, the head of household. Let's start putting the blame game. You're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to be shoulda, coulda, woulda type of thing. You know, we always do blame game. Let's be those head of households and be what we're supposed to be as far as providers. I don't know how we can assist you guys in staying out of jail. Maybe you got a suggestion?
See, that particular topic, man, there's so many branches.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? But that goes deep on how we end up in that. But what we could do is change the narrative.
Yeah.
You know.
But how can we change the narrative? Because
put more information, put more information to each other, more unity with ourselves, and being able to assist and provide a way, another method we possibly can. More events where we basically being able to offer, like I was saying earlier, information on how to do things, like to provide better information on different career paths.
Okay.
Where you trying to go, and then also, man, we need to have more programs, man, on how to on certain stuff that people want to do. This is certain stuff that's not even provided. You know?
Right.
Even with the brothers who have been in jail and they get out, they need to do more programs on helping them basically reach their goal of what they really want to do, what they want to achieve, and also help them like more trades.
Right.
More opportunities.
And I think that I saw that coming somewhere, and I can't remember what that was, but I saw something like that coming up too as well. But then again, because I've seen things like that happen, but what is the rate of recidivism too as well? People going back into the system. Yeah. And that's the problem that I have too, because I've seen the recidivism rate where they go back into jail. So what is the rehabilitative process in going, returning back to jail? So I think we still have to change the mind game and be mindful of, are you really ready to prepare yourself for the outside world?
Yeah. Or better yet, even with like some of these, like this, how everything's set up, these programs before entering into the world.
Yes.
I feel like, man, there may be some programs that I mean honestly probably don't know about, but then they need to be more known programs to like, hey, look, to not help make this mistake again. Let's be more program, but this can go even more because now you're talking about systematic right now, and we're on top of that.
And we're looking at a systemic type of thing, but then again, for those who are out in the world, in society, that are still doing nothing. So is that systemic?
Yeah, but see, but then also, like I said, it's a lot of guys who honestly don't have more so.
The drive?
No, not even necessarily. Not even necessarily the drive. Like there's some people who don't have that person around them to show them that this is another way. Now there's some guys out here who make a choice. Like I said, you got some guys who you can only put the information out there, and you can also guide them. But you can't make a horse drink water.
And okay, so here's my question, and I think this is to the world. And this is a hypothetical question, and this is for the world. Because I dealt with kids that were in foster care. I have kids that were in foster care that didn't have a father or a mother, but they still became good citizens. And then I have people that I've known that had mothers and fathers that became not so good citizens. So what's the difference? Because I'm measuring them out because I've been in both situations. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I pause to say, so what's the mentality? Because I've had this person that have been abused, manipulated within the system for 18 years in the foster care system, and has gone to college, has made his way in the foster care system, and became a productive citizen, and became an attorney. Then I've had somebody that had good parents and became a drug dealer and ended up in jail. So what happened?
Depends on the household. At the end of the day,
But this person didn't have a household.
they have a household. That's it. You know, I guess it just depends on our own person, our own individual selves, you know, and what we really want out of like some people, they, sometimes we won't really understand why people make the choices they make.
And that's what I said, and that's why I go back and say, is it their psyche, or is it that people just have choices, just choose not to do what they want to do? And if that's the matter of fact, then we are at a system. It's not a systemic thing. It's their own personal choice. Because now we've been blaming it on a system for so long that people just make their own wrong decision.
Yeah, we got a lot of work to do.
We do.
We got a lot of work.
We do.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is because I've been in so many arenas where people have said, oh, it's a systemic thing. No, I've been in too many arenas where I've seen kids in the foster care system. I've been an investigative social worker. I've been in a system where I've done therapy. I've done been an educator. And I've seen people grow up in good homes. I've seen people grow up in foster care. I've been in homes where I did therapy where people have great homes and they still go out doing what they do. You know what I mean? And I'm looking like, and I'm assessing. And I've been in where people had two sisters, where one didn't want to be in the home, but one loved being in the home. And I told the police officers there were the foster parents like, look, she might have her mother traits. So you can't sit here and force her to be in here. Allow her to leave because if the longer you hold her in here, guess what? She gonna. So enjoy that word you have.
Yeah, and unfortunately, man, some people just have to, some people choose to do things the hard way.
Exactly.
And that's
why we have some people won't let go of control. And that's why we're losing a lot of kids, and that's why we're losing a lot of situations, because people don't know how to let go of control and support and guide people. Start supporting and guiding people. You can still have control by supporting God. That's what people don't do. Support and guide. And you can get more from supporting and guiding than trying to say, no, you need to do this. And if you don't do this, there's a punishment. Or, let me tell you how this will sound better. You know what, Eric? Let me show you how to do this. And if I show you how to do this, this will show you how you can do this by doing this. This will teach you how to continue to do this so you can become a better this. Not that you need to do this. You saw how that softened that?
Yeah, I see that.
And that's the thing is, but that's how they learn. And then they enforce that on you because guess what? I want to control you. And by me having control over you, guess what? That's how you're going to teach your kids. And then the process keeps going. Now everybody's mad.
So it's more so about understanding the person.
That's it.
It's all about, so at the end of the day, it's all about understanding.
You got to understand
It's
the
all about
person.
communication and understanding.
And if you don't communicate and understand, guess what? And all your children do not have the same personality.
Yeah.
And that's what the parents lack at, that all your children are not the same.
Yeah. And you know that makes a lot of sense. You know,
And they think
all of my siblings, you know, we all have different personalities.
all of them.
You know, we all born with the personality that was meant for us. A lot of us, you know, require that when you may be able to talk to this person this way and explain things that way, or see where they're coming from this way. But then I think with a lot of times we have the same method of how we talk to people, but then when this person is out of, you know, don't respond like this person doing, you like, man, what's wrong with this person?
Yeah.
And it's just like, honestly, it's just more so they're not gonna respond the way this person is gonna respond, or they're not gonna understand or see you come from the way you trying to make this person do it. You gotta figure out, meet in the middle, figure out what can you, like, who are you? Let me understand you, and then I can come at you this way.
But then again, you have to understand the mental capacity, because guess what? Sometimes the parent mental capacity is not as high as the child. Sometimes.
That is real.
I'm keeping it real. I'm keeping it real.
That's real.
This is about truth and transparency. Sometimes the parent's mental capacity is not higher than the child.
That's real.
I'm keeping it real.
Yeah.
I'm keeping it 10-10. Come on live. 10-10. It's not.
Wow. That's.
And now they're trying to teach the child.
Yeah. Some people. Oh, I'm about to say something. Should I say it? Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And like I said, like I'm trying to see if I want to say it, because I don't have a child yet. But at the same time, I'm like, you know, another situation too is some people shouldn't have children.
I'm gonna drink to that.
And it's so hard, but it's the realest thing ever. Some people shouldn't
Have children.
because to bring another child into the world, man, it requires a certain mental, like you said, mental capacity.
Yeah.
It requires a certain patience.
And understand that you shouldn't have children just for love. Did y'all hear that? You shouldn't have children just for love. Children is not just here for love. Can y'all hear me? Okay. Just making sure we heard that. Okay? And just to keep somebody available. I just want to put that out there. This is about truth and transparency.
Man.
So if you're here to have a child just to keep a boyfriend, girlfriend, or just to say you have a child, this is, yeah, thank you. We're going to close for today's session. But I'm serious. Please, our next generation, don't do that. Take your time to have children, please. Start thinking about it in your mind. Children versus love. Think about it. Start thinking of self-assess. Self-assess. Start thinking about it. And think about God first. And ask God, say, God, do you want me to have children? That should be your first priority, God. And say, God, please anoint me to have a child. And then that's when you have children, once God anoints you to have children. That should be the first thing. Don't just, and then up pops a baby. Yeah. God should be first in it. See, that's what I learned in the Bible. Thank you.
Man. It is.
Now you can pass the offering plate around because, yeah, I learned that in the Bible. Thank you.
Man.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please don't. Yeah, I've been trying to hold that out for my later on. Yeah, I'm sorry. That was deep.
But sometimes
I was trying not to say
it.
it. I was trying to say it.
But I mean, yeah.
But for those who have children, I love them dearly. Yes, I do. But it's a season for everything. And I think what y'all misinterpret that. It's a season for everything.
Yeah. Wow. Something made you go,
Well, I'm just gonna. Yeah, it's Colin Kaepernick. It's Black History Month.
Hey. But
yeah.
all in all, the moral of the story is let's just do better.
Yes,
let's not continue the cycle.
Yes, and we're not here to condemn anybody for having children. What we're saying is the appropriability for doing right is doing the necessary things in order to know that the mental capacity sometimes is not sufficient enough for everyone to have a baby.
Yeah. It's not easy thing.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
Yeah.
And you know, it's definitely working. It's a lot that goes into, and then I'm just going off of what I've seen over time. And you know, it's a lot. You know, and I see my mom has gone through.
Yeah.
You know, raising 3. See with.
Like I said, I used to work in foster care, so I know the probability of people going into foster care and those who have given their children in foster care. So I know the rates. So I know that unwanted pregnancy is high. Okay? So I know the rates. So stop it. I'm just being honest. You know, yeah, please. Thank you. Just stop it. So, and that's live. Please stop it. You know, if you're not ready, just stop it. And the thing is, because it's other things that are used in having babies too, like drugs, alcohol, then you have this unwanted pregnancy. And you know, so.
And if you, and just to piggyback real quick, and if you are in a situation.
This is supposed to be about fellas moving.
Oh yeah, man, I got you every day. But no, honestly, I just want to just
keep moving forward, because fellas, you're involved in this too.
Yeah,
Women can't have babies.
And guys, yeah, indeed. And guys, honestly, man, if you're in a situation, man, look, just
own up to it.
Yeah, just own it. And
put your name on that birth certificate. Take that. What Tyler Perry said? That Dana. Take that Dana test.
And
Medea.
And just do what you do the best you can, man. Like honestly, we need each other, man.
Yeah, we do.
And that's just the reality of it, you know. Yeah. We just gotta just do better and be better, you know.
Can we do better? Like Rodney King said, can we all just get along? And that's what it's about. Setting targets, getting along, doing better. And what does doing better mean? Accountability and responsibility, and doing what's needed. Number one, putting God first, and that's the first part. And doing what's best, not only for the child, if the child is had or come about, but doing what's best for you and whatever relationship you have with whoever. But doing better for self. That's the first important part. Handling traumatic experiences. Healing yourself. Start healing yourself. Talking to a licensed therapist, licensed counselor. Start healing. Please heal yourself. I don't know what it's going to take. If you're in jail, start healing yourself in jail. I don't know if they have social workers or whatever in jail. Start talking to somebody in jail. You know, start talking to yourself in jail. You can start writing, start journaling in jail. Yeah, do something.
And you know, I would be lying to say it's not going to be work. You know, it's a process. I'm not even going to sit there and like I said, I'm still work in progress.
We all are.
Like, you know, I'm not sitting here trying to be like, hey, I got it all together. I don't. I'm still out here trying to figure out life. I'm still out here trying to make all the right moves and do the right things from lack of information that I have received coming up. You know, just like I said, you can change. You can change some things. You know, also look at the environment that you keep. That also hinders you from getting somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, just look at what do you want to do? What do you want for yourself? And then work hard and getting it done. and focus. And then like a lot of you, and you getting somewhere is going to require you to make really tough decisions.
Yes.
And that requires you to change a lot of the people that are around you, change a lot of the habits that you have.
But it allows you to grow up.
And yeah, definitely you have to just growing up. You know, all this stuff comes from growing up. You start to see things, see the world different.
Yeah.
Like I've grown up a lot in 2020.
Yeah.
And I see things a little different. And I used to, you know, past couple of weeks, I thought like I doubled back and thought, you know, some crazy stuff. But then I started looking at the big picture of everything, and I'm just kind of like now, just like, you know, life would throw you some limits.
Yes,
but
sir.
just gotta learn to make lemonade. You know, and
mind punch.
hey, but you know, at the end of the day, in order to change, to be better, you want better, you try to figure out. It's sometimes you just gotta step back and check yourself on a lot of your thoughts, and then look at the big picture, and really be willing to adjust a lot of your habits and the people around you, and then keep your eyes and your mind focused on where you're trying to go.
So what are we saying, people? Move forward. Set targets. He called out a lot of the targets, and that's KleanKut Dixon. Tell them where they can find you, because I think they probably need to get their hair cut before they start setting targets.
They should.
So
Definitely.
So they can start looking good.
Yeah.
Before they start setting their targets.
And then why not? And while you working on yourself, why not look good? Why not feel good? Why not dress the way and dress and be confident? You know, that's what it's all about. That's what I said.
I'm a stylist. I come style you for a minute, just for a minute, because I cost a lot. You know.
But you can find me on.
Well, I style you for free.
But you can find me at KleanKutTheBarber.com, or you can find me on Instagram at KleanKut_TheBarber. That's KleanKut with K's _TheBarber. Feel free to reach out.
Please
get a haircut. Come talk to me. I'm easy to talk to. You know, just come get a haircut, come feel good, and you know, hopefully I can help you out as much as I can.
He can help you out, trust me.
Yeah.
He will.
I can definitely make you look good. So definitely. And you come check me out, give some feedback, and you know, hope to see you soon.
We hope we can help you look good. We can't work magic.
Oh,
but we can attempt to make you look good. You know, we can. Hey, some people come in, you know, they want magic, but we can help. We can assist. You gotta do the strong part of the process.
Definitely.
Yeah, but you know, like I tell my barber, I tell him, hey, look, you got one job to do, and that's to give me a line. I gotta do the rest.
Right. You want more, you can have more. You know, just like I said, I'm here, man. When it comes to that, whatever you want it to be, just work at it.
And that's the thing is you have to work on you, and that's important, fellas. That you see two African American men that are successful, and I think we're successful in what we did because we want to be successful, and that's important. And the important thing is that we know each other, and on the important things that we talk to each other too as well. And you know, we piggyback off each other in the thought process too as well. But it's not anything that's negative. It's always been positive thoughts. It's never been anything negative. And you have to surround yourself with positive people. That's important too as well.
Very important. Supportive people.
Yeah. And
genuine supportive people.
How about that?
Genuine.
That's the G word.
Some people can seem like they support you, but really be hating at you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But you know the feeling. You know what it is.
Yeah.
But also, like I said, like you gotta stop hating, like you know, putting that energy out towards each other. Use us and people who are doing stuff for themselves as motivation to get to where you trying to get to.
Yeah.
That's their life. That's what's ordained for them. Work on what's ordained for you.
Yes.
And just look at other people's lives as motivation. You don't have to hate on the next man.
Yeah.
Just figure it out. Talk to the man. Hey, how'd you do that?
Yeah.
I'm trying to do this.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. You know, there's no need to hate. There's no need to put that type of energy out there, man. Like, use other people's lives as motivation. That's it.
And you'll know if they lead you down the wrong direction because you'll feel it. You'll feel it. So, as we say,